In this lesson, we'll discuss creating details. Detailing inside of Revit can take on different shapes, or basically different avenues. For example, looking at the view on my screen right now, this would be classified as a drafting view, but it's a detail view because it's showing details of elements. But since it's a drafting view, if you mouse over the elements, these are lines. Basically, everything is drafted. So here you're working like you would in a 2D tool where you draw the different elements, the different components, or lines, if you will, into a detail. You then add annotations such as dimensions or text or other reference symbols. And this is called a drafting view. To create this type of detail, you would first want to create a drafting view. To do that, go to the View tab on your ribbon, and then on the View tab within your ribbon, you have an icon for creating a drafting view. Now, when you create a drafting view, it's basically a white canvas. There's nothing there. It's a blank screen, and you start to draft. And you can insert in different components or shapes, but literally you're drafting or drawing lines. So this is one type of detail view. Now, this drafting view can be seen in the lower left project browser underneath Drafting Views Detail, and the one I'm looking at is Footing Section 2. Now, there's also another group above that in the project browser called Detail Views Detail as well. These are also detail views or could be considered a detail view. For example, double-click on the Typical Column Detail View. This is a detail view as well, showing the details of columns and how they're laid out, but actually, it's just a cropped view. So it's a duplicate view of an elevation view, and then it's cropped. To see that, I could turn on the crop box on the view bar on the bottom, showing the crop region, and if I chose not to crop the view, by hiding or unhiding the crop, you can see this is actually part of an elevation view or a section view of the overall building. But it's then cropped down to only display a smaller finite area, and then the crop box has been hidden. Now again, I could show my annotation, my dimensions, my text here, but the details started out as a snapshot of the actual model. So in this lesson, we discussed briefly creating details. We looked at two different methods of creating details. One, within a drafting view, where you literally draft the detail, drawing lines and curves and adding annotations such as text and dimensions. And the other method of creating a detail was basically duplicating a view, such as an elevation view or a section view, and then cropping it down to the area or region that you only want to display, and then adding dimensions or other annotation to that view.